wreck. Max can't hear the music.
Oh yeah, I just love not being able to hear the music
Breaks
again.
Breaks my heart that Max can't hear the music. It is the Nothing Sacred Show, but I can hear the music.
Yeah.
And I am Cruise Control.
Jimmy. I can't hear shit. I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
Yeah, and this is the Nothing Sacred Show. It is the 3rd of February this time. 3rd of February, man. It's the month of
Man. Yeah, that's a bitch. Now this week I can't hear the music. You know, just this typical fucking technology,
everything,
you
man.
know?
It's everything, man. It's conspiring against us, man, to bring us down, dude. The man is bringing us down, dude.
Cellini, man. The way of the Cellini stuffing her peenie in your linguine, man.
Dude, it's because you know, it's our burden, man. It's our burden.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm woke, though. Are you woke?
I'm woke, dog.
I'm woke, dude.
So, do you have anything, man? Because I usually start out and I kind of monopolize the whole shit.
I don't really have. I mean, the only thing I have, I do have a little something. I want people to. I got a little butt plug here for a guy named Jordan Peterson. I think I might have mentioned him before. He's a philosophical dude who's fighting the good fight against the free speech bullshit that's going on, because in Canada there are laws now that prevent you from, like, if you address someone by the wrong pronoun, you could be considered a hate crime.
Really?
So if you say he instead of she, or don't call somebody a zer or zay or z, you know how they have that new thing where they have different pronouns now.
Oh yeah.
If you don't use that, then you can get arrested for it, basically. So for not calling someone what they want you to call them, because you're not acknowledging their lived experiences. Well, Jordan Peterson, if you look up this is how the media is, dude. I think you might even like this interview. I know you're not big on the philosophical shit sometimes, but right. that I listen to. But if you look up for an interview called Jordan Peterson versus Kathy Newman, or Jordan Peterson, Kathy Newman. It's this feminist chick. He's like, oh, so you hate all women, huh? He's like, I've never said that. And it's just, so what you're saying is...
I like some one-on-one shit, dude, when they argue.
I love that. She argues, and he just destroys this chick's argument. And this is basically what's happening now. What's going on, basically, there's all these people that are just tired of all this SJW fucking identity politics bullshit, and he's one of them at the forefront. And he talks a lot about simple shit, like taking responsibility for yourself, like cleaning your room, basically. Like, hey, clean your own room before you talk shit about someone else. Like, if you're talking shit about someone else, take care of your own shit. Deal with your own shit before you do so. So, just my butt plug there for Dr. Jordan Peterson.
I'll have to check that out, because I do like some when they go back and forth.
Yeah, look up Channel 4 Jordan Peterson. We'll give it to you.
Nice.
And you're like, it's not even. It's just like it's funny because he wrote a book, and they don't even talk about the book. She just kind of rails on him about the wage gap and all this bullshit that doesn't exist. And
oh wow,
so
still living in those dark ages, huh?
Yeah, still living in those. Yeah, of course, because we are, man. Because women are suppressed. Women have no rights compared to men.
No, they're marginalized.
Just like the brown people. Even here's another thing I was thinking about, though. I want to see. Oh, here, I'm gonna actually look up something on YouTube, bro. Not YouTube, but on Google, real quick.
Okay.
Percentage.
Yeah, there was actually something I saw that was kind of similar to
Caucasians in the world. So here's what I want to do.
Okay.
Well, okay. What percentage of the population is white? Okay, that's in America. What I'm trying to find out is what is the was and is white. Ooh, I don't want to look here. This is Stormfront. This is a fucking white supremacist. My point is that everyone keeps talking about the minority and like how whites are the majority and whites are evil and whites are oppressive. But I gotta wonder, there's gotta be more brown people than white people in the world, right? So,
yeah,
if there are, right, and if the mentality is that the minority is needs to be addressed, then that means that white people are the minority in the world, right, or are a minority in the world. Right?
Right.
So the logic just falls on its face again. I just kind of I was thinking about this order, like, I wonder how much, not because it matters, because I don't think it matters. I think it's individuals that matter. It's always been my case.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, of course. But, since it matters to them, of course, only selectively. It only matters to people selectively because, they got to keep up the narrative. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, of course. Actually, I should have sent you this video that my brother sent me. One of those, again, it's actually a woman making fun of the whole, the white man be oppressing me shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was actually kind of funny. I might have to see if I still have.
Is it a black woman who does it?
No, it's a white woman.
Oh, okay. Because there is a one. There is a black quote unquote SJW hater, but she's kind of. See, the problem with this, with anything else, is that people get on sides, right?
Uh-huh.
And when you get on sides, people will fake being on a side to make some cash, and there's a suspicion that some of these people are doing that. So just to make, hey, I'm a black person who likes, who doesn't,
So she's kind of like a female Tommy Sotomayor, sort of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Although, you know what's weird about that? I haven't seen any of his shit on YouTube lately, man. I wonder if he's gotten kicked off.
He's still there. You know what's been going on, though, is he's been switching channels, because I guess they've been flagging his channels.
They flag everything now because YouTube is not a place to make money. So if you're planning on making money on YouTube, you can't do it anymore because they are totally politically correct, and they will censor anything that they don't deem fits the quote-unquote the narrative again. There's that word, narrative.
This is why we don't use it to make money, man. That's why we just have fun.
We just have fun and just do it because at some point because here's the thing, people are like, I make my living off YouTube. It's like you're making your living off a company that you have no control over. So
right.
So it's kind of great. It's great you're making a living of it. Great you made some money off it, and it's awesome. But at any point, these people can go, we don't want you to make money anymore, and then you're fucked. You're done, right? Yeah. Unless you're smart and have lived within your means and have just taken the ride and stored all that cash away. But of course, most of the people are like, I want to buy myself a fucking new house and a new dude. Never rely on YouTube, man. You can't rely on a company that can just say, well, your stuff's offensive now, so we're just going to start to demonetize you, and then boom, you're done, right?
Yeah. Then you can't make money anymore. Yeah. So you need to find somewhere new to go.
To rely on that as a moneymaker and then get upset when they don't give you any money. What I do is I'd ride that shit to the dirt. Take all that money and save it, and then if they do drop out of me, I've got enough to live off of until I find something else to do.
Right, or find a new place like SoundCloud or SoundCloud's just audio, but you know what I'm saying, like someplace.
Well, there are other things but there's a lot of interesting new shit going on. So, anyways, let's get to some because I know you got some irks here. I said, I never have much, man. Man, I just the same shit always bugs me.
I just figured I'd give you the opportunity because so often do I monopolize the show with my shit, and then I'm like,
you come up with the stories, and I actually give the substance of the show with all the actually insights, while you just come up with the stories. See, I'm the one who actually people listen to. They just use you as see. I feed off you. I feed off your stories, and I actually try to pull something good out of it, which is a lot of hard work sometimes because most of the time your shit's kind of boring.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, okay. So first of all, do we have any new tales from the Rum Runner?
Not really, man. It's been pretty quiet. Matter of fact, I was in there when Corey the bully fucker was there. Actually, that was last Saturday night, I think. Mm-hmm. Whenever we did a show last. And he was there, but he didn't say shit to me.
No.
He just kind of sat across the bar, and because this dude Josh, who I called Motorcycle Man, was sitting next to me, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Chino and Corey are over there." Chino said something to me, but Corey kept it quiet. Man.
Oh yeah, Corey's he's butthurt, man. He's you bullied his butthole, dude.
I did. I bullied his butthole, man.
It's puckered, and now he's puckered and pissed. So.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
It sounds like I'm puckered and pissed, goddammit.
Yeah, but other than that, man, Rummer's been quiet. I'm actually going to go over there tomorrow for the Super Bowl with Steve.
That's right.
So we're going to hang out there.
In the night, just do your thing.
Actually, tonight I'm hanging out with Mac Metro.
Mac Metro, that's good, man.
Hanging with the Mac. So, well, here's the one thing. You were talking about YouTube and making money and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
And I just had another person recently that I wanted to interview. Actually, fuck it. I'm going to call him Asshole Man. We all know him as Afro Man, but I'm going to call him Asshole Man. Because, I guess years ago, well, back in 2015, Renaissy interviewed him back when he was doing his show, the Tough Love radio show. And Renaissy gave me his information and said, yeah, man, just let him know you're a friend of mine. And, he was on my show. Now, he didn't charge Renaissy anything to interview him. Mm-hmm. So I called him. This is back in 2015 yet, right about the time I was about to drop my show at All Talk. And, before I knew I was going to drop my show at All Talk. So I called him and I said, hey, man, I do an online radio show, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, yeah, definitely hit me up, man. We'll set up a time. We'll do this. We'll do that. So then, obviously, you remember I dropped my show. So I called him to let him know, hey, man, I dropped my show, but me and my buddy, we're trying to get something together right now, and we're going to have something before too long, and we'll get back in touch with you. And he's like, okay, man, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm like, it's all good, man. I said, we'll get back at you. Well, I kind of never did. It's just kind of a out of sight, out of mind, just didn't think about it. Well, then I guess recently ADR LeVay had done something, like a show where he was at, and he had talked to him. And he said, "Oh yeah, man. He said I got a buddy who does an online radio show, and he'd like to interview you because I think when he had mentioned he was going to be doing this show with Afro Man, I was like, oh man, well why don't you try to see if you can hook up an interview." So anyway, he calls me. He's like, "Yeah, man, here's his phone number." I'm like, "Okay, actually, it's the same phone number I've got." So I was like, "I'll just hit him up." So I call him, and we're talking, and you could tell, dude, that Afro Man was kind of fishing a little bit. He was like, "Well, he pulled the whole how many viewers or how many listeners do you have shit, And I didn't lie. I was honest. I said, "Well, it depends, man. Some videos we get 27 views, 30 views, something like that."
He's like, "Oh, I don't want to do that. Take his time to
well,
do
he didn't even go like that. He just kind of. I guess what happened was the phone call. Well, he must have been driving or something because the call dropped. So I texted him and I said, "Hey, man, your call dropped." And so he texted me back. He goes, "Yeah, man, I'll do your show, man. Just it'll be $500." I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, see, isn't it great that now if we had those 500,000 dudes, you'd be like, "All right, come on, man, I'll be doing it." What a fuck you, dude. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's just our way of saying, well, you know what? We're just a little podcast, so fuck off. We can't pay you that.
I'm not gonna pay you shit, man.
Could you imagine me like shelling out, like, "Hey, dude, we got this dude coming on, man," and like just paying him money so he could come on our show?
Like, "Oh, hey, man, thank you, man. Thank you for coming on." Actually, it would be no thank you. Be like, "Hey, man, you need to stay for 4 hours, dude." Actually, you don't need to stay for longer than that, dude. You need to stay for 50 hours. It's going to be $10 an hour for your fucking interviews. You need 50 hours of interview. You better have enough fucking material.
We want you to record an album while you're on here. I want you to get in your studio and start doing some shit right on our fucking podcast.
It's all self-interest. But the thing about it is you actually like his music, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why you wanted to do it. So you appreciated him as an artist and wanted to do the interview to talk to him. Right. And just say it's out there. It's an interview. If he would, it would look better on him in a way to be magnum. He didn't have to do a 35, 40. He could do a 12, 10-minute, 10-minute interview. We could do 5-minute segments.
Yeah,
right?
We're not tripping.
We don't give a fuck. We don't care how long it is. 30 is better for me because it's going to be the same fucking question with the same answers most of the time. Yeah, when I was 22. Anyway.
Right.
All right, how long you been in prison? Oh, sorry. No.
Yeah, some of those guys.
Yeah, who knows? My point is that whatever. It's we're doing it because we enjoy. I like the interview process. See, I like kind of like trying to get better as an interviewer.
Yeah, me too.
So honestly, for me, it's not about the artist. We get the artists for you because you enjoy listening to the music and you actually want to talk to them. For me, it's about becoming a better interviewer, just because I like the skill and I'd like to get involved with that more because it's
especially
fun.
when it's something you're not interested in. Really.
Yeah, and I'm not, and I still crank out a killer interview and ask them the right questions that opens up their conversations, because otherwise it'd just be us sitting there going half the time.
Yeah, so nothing. What's up, man?
Yeah,
for me, I like learning shit about that artist, and about certain things. But for me too, I do critique my interviewing, abilities and stuff, And
I think that's just funny that people think that we're like, oh man, but I think the problem is that when you say something like, "Hey man, my buddy and I are starting to get something together," it's like, yeah, we're gonna get something together. We're gonna really fucking push the envelope here and get like fucking logos and fucking bumper stickers and fucking I'm gonna get a fucking keychains I'm gonna hand out.
I don't think he even remembered who I was, because I did make mention of that, but I don't think he really caught on to, oh, that's the same guy from years ago.
No.
He didn't even remember who ADR LeVay was.
Yeah.
He goes, who? Because I said ADR LeVay told me to get in touch with you when I texted him, later when we were going back and forth, and he said, "Who's that?" And I was like, a Mexican rapper from Frisco who wears a pentagram around his neck?
That should have been your cue right there, dude. Self-absorption, dude.
Yep. Yeah. All into his own, sucking his own dick.
Yeah. So I mean, which is fine, dude. I mean, whatever he wants to do. If he doesn't want to do an interview, I mean, he's time is money, which is fine. If he does, I don't expect people to do this really, honestly, unless they like to have interviews and have their voices up, and hell, you never know. In the future,
right.
Maybe we'll get big. What if like we did get huge? Like, what if we got 500,000 followers, right? And then people went back to our archives, and some of the archives that have those 27 views, all of a sudden have 27,000 views. And then he's sitting there kicking himself, and then he comes around, "Hey man, remember when you said you get an?" I feel like, yeah, it's $500, dude. Yeah.
Well, and that's it.
You got to pay us $500 for an interview, buddy. Oh, you asked?
We charge now.
Oh, yeah, we charge for you. We don't charge for anybody else. We charge for you because you were going to charge for us. No exchanging of ideas for free, man. No one, because it doesn't matter. It's all, like I said, it's all about just self
gratification,
self promotion without any kind of goodwill.
Right.
Which is fine.
Well, And that's what's funny, though. It's like, okay, I already told them it's me and my buddy doing a podcast. So, I would assume, it's just a little podcast these guys do. So why would you come up with the figure of $500? Like, where the fuck did you
Because
come
he
up
probably two things. He said, if they're going to give me that, then hell, I'll take it. And if they're not, then it's a good way of saying, no, I don't want to do your interview.
Yeah,
so it's
much.
It's pretty much a win-win there for him. Which is, like I said, it's fine. I don't give a shit either way. But it's just matter of fact, I'm glad. I don't want to do an interview with that dude.
Yeah, that's it. It's kind of like, okay, well.
After that, it's like, why? Why would we want you on our show, man? Even if you relented and said, okay, we're fine, man. We don't need you on our show. Even to ask us that kind of forfeits your chance of ever doing our thing, which is, not a big deal. You'll miss it on the 5 views you get, in a week.
Exactly.
The 5 new hits,
it's just funny because some interviews we've had, have gotten a couple thousand views, like the Big Y interview, the Jay Jonah interview.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple thousand, which you'd think a couple thousand would be enough for anybody, just because who knows? A couple thousand means 100 people, 10% of those people really say, hey, I never heard this guy before. They buy their shit, so 100 people have his stuff now, and then from those 100 people, they tell other people, and they buy their shit. But no, it's not the way it works anymore, man. People don't.
Nope. It's all, what can you do for me? Fuck what I can do for you.
How fast can I get a buck? And which is good, man. It's all about how fast can I get a buck? Which in my day, my
money.
In my day, we did things for goodwill and honor.
Yeah, well, man, it's what it is. Like I said, it's that artist, that person drives the traffic, not us. Really, if you think about it, I mean, those 1,000 people that were listening to the Big Y interview didn't come from us.
Yeah.
Those people just happen to be like, oh shit, an interview with Big Y? Fuck, let me check it out, dog.
Yeah, and then we're the platform for them. We give a very basic, decent interview, and we just kind of let them talk about themselves and express themselves the way they want to, which is the way you should do it with an interview, in my opinion.
Exactly.
So that's enough about that. Maybe we should send him a bill. We talked about it for about 10 minutes. Let's see, $500 for for like a 30-minute show.
And he wasn't even on here, but we made mention of him. So we should
send him a bill for $127, dude, because that's about $130.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. Hey, man, you owe us $127. We talk shit about you.
Actually, no, 167. Yeah, that's 167 because that's a third of 500. So anyway,
actually, great segue, man. Because I do have a segue about a bill.
Oh no.
So, NV Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Remember back in September when they changed their site around so it's not navigatable with screen reading software?
No, it's new and improved.
Yes, right, exactly. It's the new. Well, and I told you that woman that I talked to on the phone, the customer service lady, said, yeah, we're getting a lot of complaints about it, and a lot of people don't like it. The same thing they said about Cox, and I'm like, okay, that was a brilliant career move there, guys. Brilliant business move. Yeah. So, anyway, so what I did to combat that problem is I set it up where now you're on like a monthly, where your rate's the same every month. So it bills me that, and then the next year they reevaluate, was my usage still the same? Did it go up? Did it go down? So now we're going to charge you $80 a month instead of $77 a month or some crazy shit. Or we're going to charge you $60 a month because your usage was low or whatever, Yeah. So that's what I've been doing, where it automatically takes this amount out of my account, every month. And that's been working pretty good for a while. Well, in January, another ass fuck from January, not great month it was, January 2018. And so they, I noticed that it said my balance was $0, but I didn't see any payment come out from my bank, you know what I'm saying, to NV Energy. And it said your next bill will be due February 18th. And I'm going, okay, well, this is weird. I didn't pay a bill this month. For some reason, it didn't take out. So the other night, I get an email that says that my bill is $156 this next month. And I'm going, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? So I called up. I talked to this chick. Her name was Vivian. She was a Mexi. And, she's like, okay, sir, I will check your account, and she's got it up and everything. And and she goes, well, sir, you will be billed on the 18th of February. And I was like, why didn't it take out for January? And she's like, I don't know, sir. And I'm like, okay, I don't know is an acceptable answer. But one thing I will commend her for, because I did say this, I said, well, I don't know is not an acceptable answer. She goes, well, I know that, sir, but I would rather have a supervisor call you back, because that's what she was going to do next. She was going to put in a request for a supervisor to call me. She said, I'd rather a supervisor call you back than give you the wrong answer. So that was cool. And I was like, all right, fine. So then I go to the Facebook, because they have a Facebook page, NB Energy. So, dude, I went on their Facebook page, and I blasted them and told the story and just ripped into them, and I said something about...
But that was before you got a resolution, though, right?
Right. This is prior to my resolution.
Why?
Why?
Why
because,
didn't you wait
honestly, I didn't think a supervisor would call me back, man.
You should have waited to see. Did the supervisor call you back?
Yes, much quicker than expected.
Well, yes, maybe because you put that on there. But what if they would have called you back and resolved it? Did they before they actually got that done? Because you made an issue out of it before it was resolved.
Right.
Because she said she was on. Okay, I'm just telling you from a perspective of this. She said, "Hey, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to get someone to call you back." And how long? When did you go on to the Facebook page to write them? Right after.
Probably about an hour after.
Yes, you didn't wait to see if the supervisor would call you back. Did she give you a time frame?
Yeah, but you know how much I love waiting.
Yeah,
she said tomorrow, because that was at night. You know how it is, man. You always get this shit late at night when you're getting ready to go to sleep, and all of a sudden you're angry and you can't sleep because now this pissed you off.
Well, not really. It wouldn't have pissed me off yet because I would have waited to see whether they had a bill issue and then fixed it. And then I would have been like, okay, now I'm pissed off because you're pissed off before you knew what was going on. And
that's it.
And they hadn't charged you at all. So basically, they didn't charge you for January, right?
Nope, I was not charged for January.
Was the February bill more than it should have been?
Yeah, because they didn't get January's payment, so now it's $156.
Oh, okay. So what they did was they charged you double for February without January's.
Right, exactly. So January,
okay, so
I'm paying January and February.
A simple matter of them, and if they would have taken it out right away, which is what they did, right? They fixed it and took it out, right?
Well, here's what happened. After I did my thing on Facebook, I got on the next morning. I'm getting up, I'm having my dip, doing my usual shit, and I said, NV Energy commented on your post, and I said, oh shit. So it was this guy named Richard. He's a supervisor over there, and he was like, hello, my name's Richard. He was like, I looked up your account based on your name. He's like, I do have, I am gonna let you know what went on. What's a good time to call you? So I said, well, I'm getting ready for work right now. Give me a call about 8 o'clock. So he calls me, and we talk. And here's the deal. When I set this shit up, they didn't tell me this. I just picked a random-ass date, to have the money taken out. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess they have to do that 22 days after receiving your due date, your bill. So I said, so the 19th was too early, technically, and there's, 30 days in December rather than 31 like January has and shit like that. So he goes, I would suggest moving your payment date instead of
31 days in December, home dog.
In December? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 31. Is there?
Of course, dude.
I'm thinking of November. Never mind, I'm tripping.
Yeah, please. I'm about to say December 31st, New Year's, bro. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Okay. One thing. Don't ever tell me about missing a date again, because I would never miss that. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's.
No, I'm just joking, man. I'm just giving you a hard time. So I'm playing devil's advocate here. So okay.
Of course
so anyways,
you ride behind the customer service cock all the time, man.
Because I know what it's like, man.
All right. Well, here's the problem though, and so we moved my payment date. Of course, I'm still gonna have to pay $156 this month.
Yeah.
But at least I understand where it came from and what happened. But you know what? This is the problem, dude. You have to threaten people and throw grenades to get anybody to do their fucking job.
Well, you don't really know that yet. You have no idea whether, because you didn't expect them to call you back that night at all, right?
Well, I knew they weren't going to call me back that night.
So you pushed up knowing they wouldn't call you back that night. Then the next day you're going to try to claim, when you knew they weren't going to call you back that night, that they weren't going to call you back the next day if you hadn't posted that no.
Well, you know what? I don't know that.
Exactly. So you can't make the claim that what you did caused them to call you back because you don't know. Bullshit. You cannot say, well, if I wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have called me, because you didn't wait for them to call you back and knew they wouldn't call you back at that time.
Trust me. That's the way corporations are, dude. If they can get out of doing some shit,
That's not the way sometimes it is, but you don't know, so you can't say. If you would have waited until the next day and then maybe said, oh, well, they haven't called me back in 2 days. Now I'm going to post something on think, oh, now they're finally calling me back. but you didn't wait, so you can't make the claim. You cannot
Well,
make that claim.
but it was that same supervisor that commented to me on Facebook that called me.
Of course,
I spoke to him personally.
Yes, because they assigned that for calling you, which I'm not saying you didn't get the answer for. You can maybe insure. I didn't know they call you back on Facebook, but you can't claim they didn't do good customer service with you until they didn't call you back.
Oh, well, and that's it. You know, they did do the good.
All right, cool. So you went on Facebook and said, "Hey, man, that was awesome. You guys really took care of this and explained what happened. I'm sorry, or I'm not satisfied with the answer, but you did give me a great call back. Awesome, good job, Nevada Power."
No, I never went back on his
Facebook.
Yeah,
fuck you, dude. You could have
gone
back.
Went back to the Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, dude.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Cock,
you're damn. I'm strapped to the cock. No, it's called fairness. It's called fairness, dude. What if someone What if someone did this, man? Something happens with your job, right?
Okay.
They point out something that you're in charge of the you have to get tons of and they do it publicly, right? But you're like, oh man, they did an evening and they sent this thing at 7:35 and they posted their shit at 8. I had no time to call them back. Fuck, I gotta call them back the next day. Would you like someone to say, hey man, just an update on this? Thank you very much, Richard, for getting back to me and explaining what's going on. And this is why this and this and this. You know what? Great job, NV Energy, for solving my issue, but you didn't. So all you did was be a bitch instead of actually owning up and going back and saying, "Hey, they fixed my shit," or at least they told me what was going on.
True enough, but do you really think these companies have allegiance towards their customers? I don't think so.
What I'm saying is that you have to be as big as they are. So you're trying to play different roles with them. So you're going to go out and smear their shit. And then when they actually do contact you back and say, hey, and did they do anything else for you? Did the gentleman do anything else for you?
No. He explained it. He moved my my payment date, so it shouldn't happen in the future. So we'll see.
Yeah. So it was money you were due. It was just a mix up in billing, but they actually called you back and tried to resolve.
Well, I wasn't due the money, but it was what I owed.
Yeah,
See, the thing is, I got behind on the bill because they're wondered under his fucking computer system, and nobody explained that to me. That's the thing. When I first set this up, if they would have said, well, I would recommend you do it 22 days after your due date, which I believe is the first of the month,
See, I guess my thing is this. I am not corporate America, man. Believe me, I know better than you do, much better than you do about corporate America, because I actually have worked in that sphere. You don't work in corporate America.
Okay.
So, or whatever you work, whatever you do. You don't do that. So I understand exactly what the fuck is going on with that and how awful they can be. However, there is a reciprocal thing here going on. And you can say, you have the ability, I'm a customer, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Well, yeah, then why the fuck should they care about
these niggas? So yeah, I can.
Yeah,
you're right.
You're right, but why do you expect them to if you're completely trashing on them and then never give them any kind of acknowledgement for what they do?
Okay, fair enough. So you think I should go back on the Facebook and
it's probably
say, hey,
too late now. Was that a couple days ago, a week ago?
No, it was yesterday. Actually, it was yesterday.
Hey, you might want to.
Okay,
and that's up to you. That's on you. But I'm just saying that if you're gonna live by the standard of well, I guess the point is that to be at least a little bit fair or better, because you're going on a public forum and saying that. Although what you could say is this is what happened, and they did kind of fix it, or at least he fixed the date. I'm still not happy with this, and this. They should have let me know that beforehand.
Right.
But at least they contacted me and it's resolved.
Oh, I mean, I'm happy with the resolution. I just hope that it doesn't. If it happens again, then you're gonna hear me bitching again. But right now, I'm assuming we're all good. You know what I mean? We'll find out on the 22nd, I guess.
I guess it's my thing of needing to do something when nothing needs to be done at that point. Like there's no reason. You don't know. You have no idea whether they would have called you back. Now later that day, if you hadn't gotten any response after work, and you go on Facebook and say, hey, motherfucker, and then what I would have done at that point is I would have asked for a credit. Hey, you're going to give me a little credit. I called 2 days ago wondering about this. No one contacted me back, and the only reason I got a contact back was because of this. So then you can broker a little bit later too. Like
my thing is I hate waiting. You know that, man.
Yeah.
And shit weighs on me until it fucking it's like a fucking fly buzzing on you. I got to swat it right away. That's just how I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of a.
I'm just saying there's two sides to it, and come on, man. I understand how customers can be ridiculous, and I understand how we can be ridiculous in our fucking policies and stuff like that, in this corporate fucking awful prison, that corporate prison that you're in, you know. And I am understanding about the corporate bullshit. I understand completely. Believe me.
Right. Right.
But
right.
you can't. It's almost like saying like you can't see if you're not doing anything better yourself or different than yourself, you know, and being fair and at least kind of like, hey, acknowledging something yourself. Then why do you who fucking cares a shit about you? Like, oh, I'm a customer. Yeah. Well, all right, you're an ass. Yeah, they're doing a service for you. They're an ass. It's like those people call me up and go, so what are you gonna do? I want this, this, and this, and this, and I want this and this.
But that's the shitty thing. Why do I get, you know, when I'm wrong, when I am truly wronged, why am I getting, you know, deemed as that customer who wants something for nothing?
Because you're posting that night before they have a chance to resolve the issue, and you knew they weren't going to call. If it was that morning, and you called at 6 in the morning, and then they didn't call you all day, and you fucking wrote that at 7 in the evening, yeah, there you go. Hey, you haven't called me back, fuckers. Here's my story. No, an hour later you write them before they have a chance to resolve the issue, and yet you smear them on a social media platform with your so-called sob story. When it
got me results though, man.
You don't know that you have no idea whether it got your results. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, if that same supervisor who was commenting with me on Facebook is the same dude that called me, I think I can kind of deduce that came from that post.
Yes, but they might have called you anyways, but because you knew they weren't going to call you.
Right.
It'd be like this. It'd be like this. If you knew someone's cell phone was off on a Saturday evening, right? And you knew that because you knew that night they weren't going to call you back, and obviously that was frustrating. But you called on us. What was it? Whatever night it was late in the evening. So
it was Thursday. Well, you know, I was surprised their customer service was open. Honestly,
so you were surprised they were open. You knew they weren't going to call you back, and it'd be like you saying this. It'd be like saying, yeah, well, John's phone's off, right? Well, John didn't call me back. Oh my God! I knew he was going to call me back tonight, but I'm mad at John for not calling me back tonight. So I'm going to go post on his. Why didn't you call me back tonight? Well, did you think I was going to call you back? No. Then,
well, you know, I don't know, man. I just I was pissed. That's all I got to say.
I guess my thing is waiting on that to see what happens, because then you can get more out of them too. It's another option too. This is a little thing. The more you wait, the more kind of trouble. If it's not that huge of a deal, because you weren't gonna. It's not like you were gonna be all of a sudden charged $500. Nothing really was going to happen, except that you were going to pay money later on. So if you would have waited, you could have probably got a discount. I would have even, if like maybe let's say you got a little, hey man, I need a credit on this account, man. I've been waiting for 3 days for a callback. No one's called me back, so I want $20. I want some of this taken off of my bill. I want some kind of recompense here. I've been waiting on this and concerned about it. I was wondering, about this. Wonder if it was affecting my credit.
Right. Right. Why didn't me, man? Oh, and I wouldn't wait 3 days. I'd be waiting like a day. You know that.
Oh no, yeah.
But it's one of those things, man. I pride myself in paying my bills, and really the thing I'm mad about is the fact that it's such a fucking hoop jumping ass ram to pay my bill. I'm not bitching because I was charged this and I want something.
Oh, I know.
I'm actually upset because I can't pay my bill. How many customers you run across like that? So. That's my thing. And the other shitty thing is that a lot of these customer service situations, and I'm sure they don't always arm you guys with the best fucking information.
Of course. Of course, yeah. And that's why, but at least, and that's another thing. The chick who was on the phone with you at least said, I don't know, but I'm going to do this.
That was the other thing. When the supervisor called me back, when Richard was talking to me, he goes, I'm going to talk to that employee because she really should have known. And I said, well, hold up. The one thing is she at least said, I don't want to tell you something when I don't know. I said, so that's a positive. So you don't want to,
Good.
So I did kind of go to bat for her a little bit, man.
Good for you. See, that's good. That's good. At least a little redemption there, man.
Like I said, I think I'm a fair guy, man. I'm not just a dickhead.
I know. I'm just saying, man. It just because that always comes back to the person who talked to you first. You know what I'm saying? It always comes back to that's peon because shit rolls downhill too.
Of course.
So that chick who got on the phone who at least was honest with you and said, "Hey, I'm going to get someone to look into this for you," then at least that's something, and not like, well, there's not much we can do. It's due. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, thank God I asked for a supervisor because I think she was originally just going to let it go.
Oh, so you asked? You're like,
I did. I said, well, unfortunately, I don't know isn't an acceptable answer, so I would like to speak with a supervisor. And then that's when she said, okay, fine, I'll put in a request for a supervisor to call you.
Yeah.
You know, and then later I kind of reiterated.
That's great, man. Yeah. Actually, that's good. It's always good to ask for supervisors for the agent, because usually once you ask for a supervisor, then it's like, oh, okay, it's not my problem anymore. And then you can.
Well, see, that's it. That's why I always, you know, back in the day when I was doing kind of similar shit like that, you know, if somebody didn't, you know, would ask me something I didn't know, I would just forward it to my supervisor. I had no problem doing that.
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
this is what your job is, fool. Unfortunately, a lot
exactly.
of people are like, why are you?
Exactly.
No, you can't.
It's okay.
You can't let us know. You need to take that call until it's absolutely nothing else you can do. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. That, or don't tell people you don't know. Well, sometimes I don't fucking know, so that's why I send you to a supervisor, you know?
That's true. All right, so
I have gotten rammed for that before. Yeah. Like, you know, you're not supposed to tell people you can't. And I'm like, well, if you can't, you can't.
So that was my devil. I was more playing devil's advocate than anything else there. I don't
really
know if I believe.
I love our debates.
If I give a shit or not, I'm not like, hey. I mean, really, either way, it could have gone either way, but you never know. So it's always better for me to know, like, hey, you did not. I did this. You did not.
Oh, yeah. Well, like I said, man, I like our debates. I think they're fun, you know, so, you know, they keep it interesting. A lot of people like them, actually, dude. I've had people say, I love it when you and Cruise Control go at it, you know. So I've heard that a few times now.
It's always it's always perspective. It's all just to get, because a lot of times it's not, you know, right or wrong or black or white, but there's always a little bit in between. So what else do we have? What else you got?
Well, this is interesting, dude. This is kind of what we talk about a lot. So in this case, dude, this is a case of true sexual harassment, but they won't do anything about it, and I'll tell you why. So I was riding with a driver the other day on paratransit, and she was telling me that she picked this dude up at a group home, and I guess, dude, I don't know how much of a tartatron this guy is, but from what she said, he was sitting in the seat behind her, and he starts jacking his dick, and then he starts saying dirty shit to her, and he's like, yeah, what would you do right now? Would you let me? He said something like, would you let me fuck you in your black tight ass or something like that? And she can hear him back there slap. Well, I guess he didn't have his dick out, but he was doing it through his pants. You know, she could hear him rub it, you know, like slapping his lap.
Yeah. You
know, kind of thing. And she's like, no, you know, she's trying to, like, you know, be diplomatic and move the conversation elsewhere. But he just won't. He continues, and he's like, I really want to fuck you, and, you know, would you like sucking my cock, and would you like to do this, and would you like to do that? And just was real fucking inappropriate. Well, I guess, dude, she wrote it up and everything, and they watched the videotape, but, you know, it just seemed kind of strange, dude, that like her bosses were sort of like, well, you know, like they really didn't want to do anything about it. And she said, and there have been a few times where this guy has actually ended up on her manifest again, where she said, I do not want to pick this guy up again, and now he's back on her manifest. So she actually refuses to go get him. She's like, you're going to have to send another driver. I'm not going to get him. And so this is a case of true sexual harassment, but because he's a fucking tard, they don't want to do anything.
Which makes the drivers resent everyone they pick up, because they never know who is going to say some shit, and they have no defense or recourse against those actions. So then there's going to be complete assholes to everyone they pick up, or at least, you know, then again, or maybe they'll be grateful for, there's a double-edged sword to that, but the other side of that is they'll be grateful for those people that don't, like, oh, awesome, I've got Maxwell on my schedule today, I can go grab him, and I know I'm going to have a decent conversation, or if someone does get on the bus, someone will be there to witness and actually corroborate it, you know, who's not fucking, you know.
Right, but, you know, it's like, it's just funny, dude, when you're a tard, you're above the law, almost, you know, like the same guy that beat up Chipmunk a few months ago. Yeah, on the bus, remember?
It's the same thing. Yeah, it's nothing happens to him because, hey, well,
he's retarded. We can't do anything about it.
If they heard him on that, doing that, he should never be on that bus again.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter whether he's retarded. Oh, well, he doesn't. I don't give a fuck. He's not on that bus. You put him on put him on a cage bus, you know, where or a bus with their soundproof windows behind him with a bulletproof window. Put him in there and have him with an attendant. If he can't handle himself alone. And he's going to do that, and there's proof of it. Like, they have video or audio proof, because they have audio on the buses, too, don't they?
Audio and video. Oh, yeah, fuck
so if they have that, and they see it happen, then they need to fucking stop those people from being on there. No tolerance.
Right. Well, but what's funny is, you know, like, we've heard about this Me Too shit and all this sexual harassment, which I think a lot of it's bullshit.
Oh, most of it's bullshit.
You get women that'll scream sexual harassment at any little thing,
yeah.
But yet now you have a blatant case of it, and because the guy's a tard, they don't want to do anything, you know?
No, he's gonna, you gotta give a, come on.
Pablo.
Good God. But that's what happens, man. And then, yeah, you get the total Hollywood types who do harass them or whatever and get away with it. You're right, man. It's bullshit.
Oh yeah.
The guy should be off the bus or put on a they should have a special bus called the asshole wagon or something like that.
Tard train or something, yeah.
No, asshole wagon, because there's some nice tards. See, this is the thing about me,
but they're not dangerous. The nice tards are never dangerous.
That's
usually.
what I'm saying. That's asshole tards. They're not tards. They're assholes. See, that's the thing. See, even retards, we have to give them the same benefit of the doubt, right?
Okay.
So like,
right.
There's hi, my name is Billy, and you're like, oh, you're kind of annoying sometimes, Billy, but you're friendly, and I like you, Billy, overall. Thank you, Billy.
Yeah.
Hey, Maxwell, how you doing? You're like, oh fuck, but you're not like, you're like, hey, what's up? And you talk, and sometimes you might be like, hey, what's up, Billy? And like, get one again, Maxwell, and you're like, oh yeah, and you're like, Billy, you're a pleasure to be on this bus. Yeah, I had a shitty day at work, but I see you, sunshine and stupidity, and it makes me fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, my life, shit, man, I'll hold my fucking bill. And you're, hi, Maxwell. You're like, and sometimes you're like, fuck you, Billy, but you don't say it to him because you're not an asshole. And Billy's not an asshole. No, but then of course there's, bang, fuck you, and then you grabbing people's fucking hair. That's an asshole. So instead of like judging, that's the whole thing. We just judge them as assholes.
Yeah. Okay. So the asshole
they're both retards. Billy's a retard.
But so is Jimmy, who's a dick who will like smash you in the face with something.
Exactly. So Jimmy is an asshole, regardless. Judge people who they are, even if they're retarded, man.
Oh yeah, well that's true. You're right, but they should be held to the same standards.
Exactly, because if they're both retarded and Billy is nice and Jackie and Jimmy isn't, then Billy should be praised for being nice. It shouldn't be like, well, they're both retards, they're gonna do that. No, because Billy wouldn't do that. So Billy's Billy deserves to get the credit for not being an asshole because he's grown up and realized, hey, being nice is good.
Right. Right.
Jimmy's like, I hate my fucking wife. I fucking hate these smart people. I'm a car. I'm going to hunk my dog.
And he has a fucking tard fit right there and starts smashing out windows.
Exactly. So Billy should be praised for being a good person, and Jimmy should be condemned for being a bad person despite their retardation. See, there's my
yep. There you go,
personal
man.
responsibility quote of the day.
Well, there you go, and those kind of tards like Jimmy, you got to shoot them up with Thorazine.
Treat all the retards equally. That's what I say.
Well, no, like we said, the asshole tards, you shoot them up with Thorazine. The ones that can't function and just can't, be out in the public because they're going to hurt somebody or upset somebody or something. Then you got to do what you got to do, man. None of this, inclusion. They deserve to ride the bus as much as you do.
They do. No, they don't. Some of them don't. Some of them do not. And that's the thing. Billy does. Jimmy doesn't.
Yep. Exactly. So, actually, and speaking of other sexual shit, dude. All right, this is interesting.
Uh-oh.
So, now, I know you hate this fucker, but, Raid.
Uh-oh.
Raid. So, Raid, I guess, was, I kind of gotten the stand-up bug, dude, since I went to go see him. Because, they had that open mic, and there were a bunch of comics up there.
Stand-up bug, is it you doing it yourself, or is you going and just watching?
Me going to do do to actually get up, do a little stand-up.
This might be your Toastmaster outlet now, man. Your new one.
It may be. Well, anyway, so he was, we've been talking. I guess they moved that open mic that he was at that one time.
So you're going through him to get this done. Okay.
Well, it was one of those things of, he told me about the thing originally. And I was like, okay, so I went to the one and they've moved it. Well, I guess there's another one he was telling me. He's like, yeah, I'm hosting this one at the Sci-Fi Theater, which is, I think, where Second City used to do a lot of their shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, the Sci-Fi Theater, it's a theater, not a bar. So there's, no alcohol, first of all.
Yeah.
And it's not an all-adult crowd. People might bring their kids in and all kinds of other crazy shit. So I wasn't feeling it too big. And we were talking on the phone about it originally, and then he says to me, oh, yeah, and the woman who runs it, she has to bring her 4-year-old daughter because her 4-year-old daughter she gets off work and she has to go pick her up from school and then go do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, so at first I'm like, he goes, but don't worry, the daughter can't understand what you're saying. So none of the comics have to change their accent.
Why do people think that? I don't understand. That's dude. 4-year-olds understand so much more than you're. Oh my god.
Well, even if they don't understand what a dick or a pussy
they're going to wonder what it is and ask, and you'll have to try to explain that shit.
Exactly. Or they're going to repeat it at school, or some crazy shit.
Or whatever. Shit. Yeah. So no, they don't. That's what that used to bug the shit out of me because my bro used to do that with his kids sometimes. Oh, they don't know what they're saying. But I'm like, they understand so much more than you even have an idea about, dude.
It's funny because I work with one of them now.
Jesus, you know what I'm saying? They understand about that. It's a cop out. It's an excuse to do whatever you want to without consequence. Well, they don't know what's going on. Bullshit.
It's only 4.
Okay, so you're like, no, I'm not going to do that, right?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, dude. I took some because at first I kind of agreed to it. I was like, okay, dude, yeah, cool. I'll come through. I'll do this. Then I got off the phone and got to thinking about it, and then I started talking to Kraken about it. And he's like, dude, this sounds like some red flag shit, man. You might want to, I was like, you're right. I was like, well, how the fuck do I get out of it now? He goes, just say you got sick. And then I thought about it more, and I said, no, you know what? I'm going to tell him the truth.
Of course you are, because that's what you should do. Telling the truth is easier over the long run.
It sure the fuck is.
And because otherwise you don't have to worry about any bullshit, no stories, no, hey, Well, you're breaking
That
up.
was weird. Hey,
Can you hear me?
What the fuck? Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on here? Hold on.
You're breaking up a little bit. Your mic or something like that. Uh-oh.
Wait. You there?
I'm here, but yeah. But your mic's breaking up a little bit.
For some reason, my mic is... Okay. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, for some reason, my mic was being gay.
Oh, yeah, it's better now, it seems like. Okay, so what did he say when you told him?
He was cool with it.
Yeah, because you worried he wasn't going to be, and so you thought it would be more trouble to lie than it would be. Most of the time, even if it's not, what if he would have said, well, man, you would have said, well, I'm just not comfortable with it, so I'm not going to do it. Right? You're breaking up, man.
Yep,
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
I don't know why for some reason, my mic keeps popping out. The USB thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now it's in. I just got to be careful not to move too much, I guess.
Yeah, you're getting all fucking thirstified. Probably.
No, he was actually. What happened was I called, and left him a voicemail, and then I didn't hear back. So at first I thought he was kind of pissed. So then I called him the next day. I was like, "Hey man, you got my voicemail, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it. Not a problem at all, man." He's like, "I understand." He's like, I got you." So he was totally cool about it.
And if he was, and even if he wasn't, then guess what? You're not going to deal with it anymore, and it's done. So you don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
It's so much easier, and most of the time, not easier. I wouldn't say that. It's so much more expedient to tell the truth sometimes, because even though it might not get you the answer you want, maybe it'll get you a better answer overall. So because if you would have been a dickhead, you would have been like, all right, just like that fucking guy before, Asfro, whatever,
asshole man, yeah.
Asfro
man,
whatever.
Yeah.
So he would have. So he would, if he was honest with you too, but now like, all right, I'm not dealing with it. And if he would have been like, man, listen, dude.
Yeah, if you would have been like, dude,
you think about it. It's more respectful and better for them then, because then they can plan ahead. Because otherwise, it's like, oh, well, I can't go. You're like, oh shit, I gotta fill that spot. I gotta whatever he has to do.
Yep. No, I called him early enough. I called him in the morning, the next day, and I just kind of said, hey, dude, I've been thinking about it. I don't feel comfortable with there being a 4-year-old in the audience and me saying the shit that I'm gonna be saying. So it was it worked out, man.
That's funny, man, because it's good, man. See, that's responsible.
It was,
so
man.
Proud of you.
I don't know. I'm scaring myself. I'm starting to grow up here, man.
Yeah, well, you've always had that. You just tried to hide behind that gangster veneer.
I know, haven't I? So and then let's see. Anything else? Not really too much. Although I have been getting a fuckload. I got to get my one racist comment in before, because I've kind of noticed, dude, every show lately, I've kind of thrown some racist shit in during the show.
Yes, I've noticed myself.
My one racist, yeah, dude, I've been getting those calls from the fucking, the Davy the Dune Coon fuckers that are trying to, say that you have a computer virus.
Yeah.
And they want to put AIDS in your computer.
They're so nice to call you. Like, you're like, oh, thank you. If I don't even know you're a stranger, I know I'm calling to tell you.
Hey, these people shit in outhouses. Do you think I'm going to take anything they say seriously about a computer?
Like someone's going to call you. I know. We've noticed. Like, how do you notice? Like, so that means you're spying on my shit, right? So,
Right.
so you know I have a virus. We've noticed you. I'm like, how do you know that? Well, who are you? Why would you even call? They expect you to go, oh, well, thanks for watching out for me.
You know, I'm like, well, you know, I guess either they grow up to be terrorists or they grow up to be phone scammers. You know, so it's kind of like, yeah, no wonder Allah tells those fuckers to blow themselves up. You know, so there we go. There was my one little racist. We'll have to come up with a term for that. Maxwell's racist segment or something.
Yeah, Maxwell's bullshit.
Racially charged fucking segment.
Racially charged. Well, this won't be monetized. Oh, well.
Oh, Schlinky. We won't get our money.
Yeah, you gotta have that thing in there, you know, and gotta have that controversy.
Yeah, we're not trying to get monetized, so fuck you.
I don't give a fuck either way. Anyways, but I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
And that's the story there, bitches! Hey!
Stay out.
3rd of February, 2018.
Yeah.
Hi, old Buddha. Fucking all Buddha. Yeah.
Blow yourself up, Coon.